Hi viewers, and welcome to another episode of Wealth Wednesday. We are so happy to have you back. And today we want to talk about something that is at the back of the minds of everyone. We all want to understand what is this economy and why is it bad. So stay tuned to learn more about the state of the economy for the year 2023. And you mentioned earlier something about the shilling losing value.
Yes.
I mean, this is something we hear in the news cycle all the time. What does it mean? You know, of course we know what it means. I
Yes.
mean, it's lost the value, it's become weaker. But why
Yes.
is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is it sliding down the way it is? It has been consistently sliding down. Why isn't it stopping? And what is the government doing? And number three,
Yes.
my number three question to that is, how does this affect me as a common person?
All right. So I'll answer the first and the third one. What the government is doing, I'll give you our opinion on what it's doing.
You go around it.
No, because unfortunately, I don't sit at Treasury or
Okay.
Central Bank.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you as an outsider.
Yeah.
So why is it sliding? It's sliding because first, the simple thing, if you look at what they call what we import versus what we export, we import more than we export. So remember, we import fuel, we import food.
Yeah.
If you look at exports, we have coffee, tea, and amazingly, one of our biggest exports now is actually diaspora. We actually get more money from diaspora, what they send into the country, than what we collect on some of our crops,
Yeah.
like tea and coffee. So when you look at that difference, we actually are spending more money buying from outside than what we sell. Because
Yeah.
ideally, if you're buying from outside, you need dollars.
Yes.
If you export, you're paid in dollars, they come into the country. So if you import more, you see you're sending out more dollars than what you receive.
Yes.
So you'll have a deficit. So that's the first reason why we are sliding. And that causes usually a small gradual slide in the shilling.
Did this just happen recently or?
No, it's always been happening. But
Yeah.
but that just causes a slight weakness in the shilling over
Okay,
time.
okay.
You usually see it weaken by a shilling or two
Yeah.
every year. Now, the big drop we've seen over the last 1 year has been because, number one, the cost of imports went up. So we needed more dollars.
Yeah.
Two, because inflation, the cost of living and the rise in prices went up everywhere. One way central banks fight it and governments is by raising their interest rates to reduce the money in the economy.
Yeah.
So the US raised their interest rates. So when the US raised their interest rates from almost 0.25% to above 4%, you see that makes the US currency attractive.
Yes.
So people want to invest in that currency. So part of that caused the dollar to strengthen against all currencies. So we had that.
Because there's a big demand for it now.
Yes, because there's now a big demand for it now. Most of the people are going into the dollar. So that and the key thing, we are always sending more dollars out than we get in.
Yeah.
That's what caused the weakness. Now, let me say, not what the government is doing. What can the government do about it when you look at it from an economy?
Yeah.
Usually you do three things. The long-term one is, over time, build your exports and reduce your imports so that you have more money coming in than going out in foreign currency.
Yeah.
Then in the short term, you do two things. One, you raise your interest rates to make your currency attractive so that more people can come and put money in your country.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the second thing you do about it is that you just encourage people to be able to place more funds in your country, more investments.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you have more inflows, more investments, a more enabling business environment, then that strengthens your
So,
currency.
to the person who's sitting at home and watching this and
Yes.
wondering, is there going to be a slowdown in this slide of the shilling that is probably causing the economy to be unbearable? You're saying that there most likely will be?
Yes, at some point, the shilling will find its level.
Yeah.
So there's a level it'll get to. So once it gets to that level, then you'll have stability.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've seen people talking about maybe you should buy dollars. Maybe you should stack up the dollars in the house. You should
Yes.
I don't know liquidate your investments. Some people are saying cash is king because
Yes.
right now the property will burst and
Yes.
property market will burst and you can buy if you have cash.
Yes.
What does it mean to a person who's invested? What does this situation mean? Like, what is a normal reaction in this situation?
So, what you're talking
Not
about?
normal, ideal. What is the
Ideal.
ideal reaction? Yeah.
Ideal reaction. Yeah,
Yeah.
there could be an ideal reaction. There's also a normal one. The normal one is to panic.
Yeah.
The ideal
So the
one-
normal reaction is to panic. So whoever is panicking, it is okay. That is normal.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. The ideal reaction is to do what is right.
Okay.
Right? What will protect your funds
Yeah.
and grow your funds.
Yes.
That would be the ideal. Now, remember what is ideal is not the same for everyone.
Yes. It
So,
varies depending on your
across.
circumstance and all that.
So you should act. The first thing you should do,
Yeah.
look at your personal circumstance. See, if you don't have a need for dollars, you're not importing anything. You are not. You're not planning to take a trip. All right. You're not planning to pay something in dollars. Then, if you take all your money and sit in dollars, even if it weakens and you get a bit more in shillings, you see you're still stuck because you still have to come back to.
You still have to convert it back to shillings
Yes.
to buy
Yes.
goods and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as it is now, the shilling interest rate is still higher than the dollar rate. So if you
Yes.
put your money 1 year for shillings, you'll get 10%.
Yeah.
If you put 1 year dollars, ideally in this country, you'll get about 3%, 3 to 4%. So the first thing is decide what makes sense for me.
Okay.
Then the second thing is also to consider the key thing most people always forget before they start investing. How much money can you keep away? So if you put aside 100,000, might you need it next week or the week after? So that wherever you've invested it, you need it back.
Yeah.
If you don't need it for a year or two, then you can place it away for a longer period. So first thing, what makes sense for me?
Yeah.
If it was the dollars, do you need dollars or you don't? Number two, how much money can you keep away? And then number three, the most important thing is, what can you afford? Because remember, all investment has risk.
Yeah.
What can you afford to lose without disrupting your life or your sleep? Or your,
I like that. Your life or your sleep.
Yes. So if you find you're going to put aside even 10,000,
Yeah.
and you discover that if you lose 500, it will cause you to lose sleep. Then look for a place where you're unlikely to lose your 500,
Yeah.
even if the return is low. If you find you can put aside 10,000 and lose 5,000 and still sleep at night, then now you can put it in a place where you think I can get a very high return, but I might also lose half my money.
Yeah.
So those are the three things you should look at. What makes sense for you? Do you have a need for, if you're looking for dollars, do you have a need for dollars or shillings? Number two, how much can you keep away? How soon do you need this money? Do you need it next week, in 1 year, in 2 years? And then number three, what can you afford to lose?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you've invested or you've been investing,
Yes.
now is not the time to pull out. That's what you're saying.
It depends on what you're in. You see, I know it's like throwing the question back to you.
Yeah.
It sounds cryptic. It depends on what you're in. If you're in an investment where you think you're not going to make your money back, then sometimes it makes sense to
Pull out.
pull out
Yeah.
and go to where you start earning a positive return. If you're in an investment whereby you think, when you look at it, yes, it's going to come back, it's going to recover, and I can hold on, I don't need the money right away, then you can think of holding on. So you have to look at your personal circumstances. So always
Okay.
start with that. What works for me? How much money do I need? And what can I afford to lose
Yeah.
and still sleep at night? If you can't afford to lose anything, you need to be where you can't afford to lose anything.
So if I look at all those circumstances,
Yes.
would you say, given that maybe I've looked at myself, I know my circumstance, I know this is what is right, would you say it's a good time to add on to investments?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, we're having a lot of changes in the world,
Yeah.
not only globally, also locally. So opportunities always arise in times like this when you have a lot of changes. And remember, to take advantage of opportunities, you need to have cash,
Yes.
or what the sophisticated people call capital.
Yes.
All right? If you wanted to buy something cheaply, two things have to happen. Something has to be cheaper, and you have to have the cash to buy it.
Yes.
So it makes sense to put aside some cash.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So there you have it. Please remember, it is okay to panic. If you're panicking, it is fine. The reaction is very normal. But the more normal thing, or the ideal thing, would be don't panic. There's something you can do about it. There's still investment vehicles where you can put your money and get a good return. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, and remember to engage with us on all our social media channels.